Well, Kinger, it's a little cold outside. About 17 degrees this morning air temp. We're on the Mississippi River, Pool 3, and I have a secret weapon with me. His name's Brett King, Strike King Pro. And one of the things that we really wanted to go out and do, late fall time frame, and over the past couple of years, I've actually come out and we've messed around and just had some fun.
Yep.
Three-weighing with plastic, something that a lot of people probably don't even think about doing.
Right.
Catches a lot of fish, and they're fun when they hit.
It does. It's kind of a glorified Dubuque rig type presentation, but we're coming off our first major cold front. Like, we're day 2 into the cold front. You can't get much tougher conditions than that. Looks like we've dropped about 9 degrees water temp since the last time I was out. This should be interesting, should be a good testament to what you can do with plastics in tough conditions.
Well, I mean, everything sounds pretty good if you ask me. So let's go out there and show them the next bite.
Just looking for the next bite, next bite, next bite. Just looking for the next bite. Yes, we
Late fall on the Mississippi River can be one of the best times of the year to catch not only a lot of fish, but some of the biggest fish in the system. Any good river angler is able to read the water extremely well. Being able to pick out current seams, combined with knowledge of what depth the walleyes might be in with cold water temperatures, and you can put yourself on a lot of great fish.
It's later in the fall. These fish are staging up for winter, and they're trying to fatten themselves up because they'll get pretty lethargic here pretty soon. So what we're working a flat along one of the wintering holes up by one of the dam systems, and we're working 14-ish to 25 feet, and as these fish slide out of the hole, they'll come up and feed once in a while. Usually you're able to catch some pretty decent fish along the way. It's not always fast and furious, but it's very rewarding, and what you catch is very worthwhile. As fall progresses on deeper into winter, I'll start moving downriver, and these fish will start going deeper and deeper throughout the day and only come up real close to dark or in the dark. So that's what we'll be looking at today, and we'll see how it turns out.
What do you think, Brett? I think he's decent, huh?
Yeah. We'll find out.
Oh yeah, decent one.
Nice,
oh,
nice.
He's off too.
Nice.
It's a good spot for him to get off, Kinger.
Well, I'm glad he got off in the net and not outside it.
Definitely not a beast, but nice fish. I could tell when you set the hook on that one, it was a little bit bigger.
Yeah, they're just off a little bit today. You know, we've had a pretty good cold front. We're down about 8-9 degrees water temperature over the last couple days, so they're not ripping the plastic like they normally have. Otherwise, you wouldn't lose that one.
Yeah, did you have that one casted out a little bit?
That one
you
was
were
casted
working
out,
it back?
and I was sweeping it back.
Interesting. All right, let's get them back. Huh? Oh, yeah, he's ready.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Tracker Boats. Fish the finest. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Berkeley. Catch more fish. And Power Pole Total Boat Control. Closed captioning for the next bite is provided by Precision Trolling Data, the authority for crankbait diving depth information. Traditionally in the fall on a river system, you would vertical jig. While vertical jigging, you slowly slip with the current, keeping your baits close to the bottom. The slow movement allows lethargic fish to bite your slow-moving bait. Using a three-way rig allows you to keep your bait close to the bottom and always in the strike zone due to the length of your dropper. But unlike vertical jigging, you're able to cover a little bit more water by using your trolling motor to move along a break line at a slightly faster speed than you would slip drifting with the current.
So this three-way rigging plastics is an absolute riot. I mean, the fish absolutely annihilate these baits. And it's really simple to fish as well too. We're using something, the setup's real simple, and it's a rod that I actually like to use when I'm vertical jigging. This is actually a Bass Pro Prodigy walleye rod. This is a new line of rods from Bass Pro this year. And it's a 6'6" medium action extra fast tip. And basically all that means is you have a lot of backbone, but a really, really quick tip. And that's good because obviously with three-way rigging, you're gonna have a little bit of weight there. And what you wanna do with the actual presentation, with the setup here, is you're gonna have your three-way swivel, obviously, and we have a dropper of about 12 to 15 inches in length down to a weight. Now you're just gonna wanna gauge how deep you're fishing, basically how heavy the current is, and you're gonna choose your weight according to that. And we go into the leader setup here, and for both the dropper and the leader, we're gonna use 10-pound monofilament in this cold weather. But this leader is gonna be about 3 to 3.5 feet in length, all the way down to just a simple Aberdeen, like a number 1 or number 2 Aberdeen hook, and then putting a ringworm style bait on. We've used a variety of different styles, but very, very simple. We're working this along the bottom real slowly, keeping bottom contact, not working it aggressively, because obviously we're dealing with cold weather, and hold on tight, because when these things hit it, they absolutely crush it. Nice one, Brett. There we go. Good fish. I could tell that wasn't one of the real little ones.
No.
I looked over and you were pretty quiet on the hook set though. You gotta tell me what's going on.
You don't get no warning on these. They just kind of show up and pow.
Oh, great color.
Well, it's a little different than what you're using, but
Yeah.
it's along the way.
Nice fish though.
That'll work.
That is a nice one.
That's a good one.
You know what? You can release it. I'm gonna go back to fishing.
Thanks, Chase. All right, there you go, girl.
Total Control, presented by Power Pole. 20 years of trust evolved from Total Boat Control.
One of my favorite techniques throughout the year, but especially the summertime, is the use of a crawler harness. But one thing I like to do with my crawler harnesses is I like to tie them myself because I can pick my own components, you know, all the way down to a fluorocarbon line, but most importantly are the hooks that are on my crawler harness. And the first hook I always start all with is an octopus hook, generally a number 1 or a number 2. It's the Fusion 19 octopus hook. I generally like the red anodized, but one thing I like about the Fusion 19 lineup is they don't anodize the tip of the hook, which keeps it razor sharp without being covered up with that anodize. And it's very important with crawler harnesses because you're moving slow, you know, 0.9 to a mile and a half an hour. So generally the boat isn't setting the hook or burying those hooks into that fish's mouth. So you want a very sticky hook that is going to stick to anything it comes in contact with. Now, anytime I'm not anywhere near the bottom or any vegetation, I almost always run a treble hook behind that octopus hook. And to me, a number 8 or even up to a number 6, if the fish are a little bit bigger, are what I generally go with. Now, this is a Fusion 19 round bend, the 1X size. But a treble hook is probably what does the most damage when it comes to putting those light biting fish in the boat. And what you want is an absolutely sticky hook that is going to grab onto anything it's going to come in contact with. Like I said, these fish generally a lot of times will swim with it, and they might be behind your planer board for 10 seconds before you even know what's on there. So you really want something that's going to grab a hold of anything it comes in contact with. And these Fusion 19 line of hooks have really shown me the difference between putting a few fish in the boat or catching a lot of those fish that you may have missed.
Throughout a day of fishing, bite windows will open and close. Oftentimes as anglers, there are no clues as to why fish suddenly start biting, but there are clues to help you know when it could be happening. Paying attention to the weather, current changes, and your electronics are all things that can help you make sure that you're prepared for a bite.
You got one? Yep. Decent one?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, yep, here. Get the net here.
I gotta come over here. He had me under the boat. Got under the boat on me.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come here.
Come on, buddy. There we go. Nice. One.
Nice. Nice.
Look how fat that thing is. He kind of took you a little bit of everywhere there.
Yes, he
You were
did.
kind of turning out. You got behind the boat.
I was swinging the boat in the current, and he hit me when I was right underneath on the slide.
Dude, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Look at how healthy these fish are.
I love it when they do that.
Yeah, they flare up a little bit. Did he crack it?
He cracked her good.
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
I said,
say-
I was under the boat on the slide, and it just took, and I was under the motor, so I had to go up and around.
That is a good one. Fatty, fatty. You're gonna put him back so he can get bigger.
Yes, let's
Right.
do it.
There you go, buddy. I think he's ready. Oh yeah, straight down to the bottom. Nice work, Kinger.
Yeah, I told you. I just said it. I was feeling it. Calling my shots.
So one of the things that you really want to pay attention to in terms of your electronics in situations like this is the type of mood that the fish are in. And it's really been pretty simple. We're just simply looking at the Lowrance and really paying attention to the 2D. You see them all day long on the graph. You can mark them plain as day, laying really tight to bottom. It almost looks like it's just part of the bottom, but you know those fish are there. And what we found is at different periods throughout the day, those marks will slowly raise just a little bit. They're still staying close to bottom. They're sitting on these current seams. So you really got to pay attention. But when those fish start coming up just a little bit on that graph, really make sure you're in the spot where you're seeing the most, because it seems like when they do come up, they almost all bite. And some of them can be little sauger, some of them can be those big walleyes. But pay attention to your 2D on your graphs, and those fish, when they're active, you're gonna see it, and you're gonna catch more fish if you're in the area that you need to be when they decide to start feeding. Oh, we'll get the net on this one. Here we go, King. What do we got here?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Good one.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Oh, he's off too. Look how fat that thing is.
We were just talking about this, weren't we?
Well, the interesting thing is like we've been marking plenty of fish all day, but
They've been.
all of a sudden, like we're starting to see a couple that are just a tick up off the bottom. And almost every time we see one of those, we get cracked.
Yeah. We've almost
And so we're like that.
been calling our shots for
Yeah,
the last
we really
half hour.
have. It's been pretty cool, but healthy. These
Yes.
things are just
Yes.
healthy, huh? Nothing better than that.
Nope.
I mean, hey, this three-way with these plastics, something I never did till about a year ago with you. I come up in the spring, you do it a lot, and
When they eat it, they blast it. You know, we could have probably caught maybe more fish on minnows today, but you want to get quality. You just got to get confidence in the plastics overall. Yeah. And
They
you
eat
just
it.
got to fish them.
just like that one, he ate it. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at
Nice.
Hot topics, leading information and tackling techniques to make you a better angler. Presented by Mercury.
Electronics have become such a vital piece of the puzzle to catch more fish, whether it's the sonar capabilities that they have or the mapping. And I want to talk a little bit about the Lowrance HDS Lives and the Genesis Live feature where you can actually do your own live mapping. It's something that's been around for a little bit, but I think it's something that's not used as much as it truly should be. For instance, we're sitting here at the mouth of the Fox River in De Pere, Wisconsin, one of the most popular rivers to fish in the spring and the fall in the entire Midwest. Something that you would think on the chips that you have in your units, the mapping would pretty much be dead on. Well, before I started this here, what I actually did is I went up and down the river channel here at the mouth, and I actually used Genesis Live to actually truly map it out to see what the bottom looked like. Now, of course, it's going to show the break on both sides of the river channel, and everything's going to be somewhat similar. And it's really simple to do this. Basically all you're doing is you're gonna go into overlay and Genesis Live will be a feature. But you can see how much different this looks versus the mapping that was actually on there. And actually it's what I noticed right away is how much sharper the break on the west side of this river channel was than on the east side, something that could hold more fish. So then you think about it and realize how important this Genesis Live could truly be. Very simple to use. Once you're on Genesis Live on overlay, you simply start driving around. You can go 7-8 miles an hour and your map will lay right out. So very, very cool stuff for mapping from Lowrance. Take advantage of it. You might find some spots that your buddies don't know about and you can catch more fish than they do almost every single day.
Although late fall can be one of the best times to catch the biggest fish of the year, fishing in freezing weather has its challenges. Besides it being uncomfortable without the correct clothing and the inevitable freezing hands, there are many other things that can go wrong. Almost all of the things that can go wrong revolve around freezing water. Although the main body of water is not yet frozen, as soon as a little bit of water gets on anything, it creates problems. Like frozen eyes on your rod, frozen compartments, and making everything slippery. Those problems don't stop while on the water, and the boat ramp is often overlooked.
Late fall fishing in cold weather can be really rewarding, but it does have some do's and some don'ts that come with it. On the way to the ramp this morning, it was 17 degrees air temperature. One of the benefits of that is traffic and the lack of people out fishing. More people are geared toward hunting this time of year. Some of the things you don't want to do, though, related with cold weather fishing like this, is those of us with bunk trailers get used to coming into the boat landing and unhooking everything and backing down the ramp, and our boat will stay there just fine. When it's cold like this, depending on the last time you launched, your bunks might be frozen and all iced over. And there's 1 or 2 times a winter when I see boats come in, unhook, and unfortunately they start backing down the ramp and their bunks are glare ice and they slide right off the back. So that's one of the don'ts. Another thing that will help you and the next guy to the ramp is draining your trailer at water's edge. Because when you back in, everything gets wet, and if you come pulling right out and the air is this cold, it freezes immediately to the ramp and just creates a slick surface. Going to cause trouble for you to get out later and possibly the next guy to slide right into the water. So always drain your trailer after you've unloaded your boat and loaded your boat when you're pulling out. It's just going to help the next guy down the line. It's always a great idea to carry some sand, maybe some ice melt with you in the vehicle just in case that ramp does get slicked over. These are just the little things that can make your experience cold weather a lot more enjoyable.
Big one. This one's a big one. We need the net. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Get him, Kinger. Yeah, baby. Kinger, look at that beast. Kinger beast.
Oh,
Look
man.
how fat that is.
I'm going to hit the anchor here.
Oh, yes, baby.
When they eat it, they blast it.
Hey, I think he wanted it too. He actually startled me. He hit it so hard.
You know,
gonna need
it never gets old, does it? My knees are shaking.
Oh man, look at that thing. That is a stud.
Big old gray one.
Just the way it came up too, like it smoked it instantly. I'm like, good one, good one. Like, we gotta get this one. And he came up and he was just wallowing.
Yeah.
And it looked like, it's pretty cold out. Was the net froze?
The net was
it looked like the bag was pretty frozen.
I was panicking a little bit there.
Look at that stud.
Isn't that crazy how hard they hit plastics? It's where it's at, man.
I'll tell you what, I love fishing this way, and we've been doing it off and on for the last couple of years,
Yep.
spring, and now this is fall, but that is what it can produce. Let's get this girl back, huh?
Yeah, she's gonna freeze up
Yep,
on us here
yep.
pretty soon.
Thank you. That is a stud. Oh yeah. Look at her. Oh.
Nice one, buddy.
Oh, that was fun.
The reason for that is I can pick the components for harnesses. And the reason for that is I can pick the components. ready? Full limit, or even it can be the difference in getting a few fish or a bunch of fish, you know, or having that full live well, not live well, or having a bunch of missed bites that are going to help you land the.
All right, education too. Well, especially when now you're snaking my side of the boat, using the same bait. Is there anything else that you need from me? Yeah, you ate it. Look at that. See, look at that.
He's not.
You don't need live bait.
He's far from a giant, but he's trying to get there in a hurry.
Yeah.
That's a really nice fish. This, you know, this river's full of these, and they obviously, as you know, they keep growing as well. So,
Yep.
but yeah, there's a really strong year class of these in here right now, and that's great to see. It really is.
That is a stud. Thank you. That is a stud. Oh yeah. There you go. That is a stud.
Stay down till you get up to the boat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go.
Boy, that's not what I expected to
I
come
thought
out.
it was gonna be like a 21,
Yeah, so did I.
22 incher.
That fish, I would have guessed was gonna be over 20.
You got worked over
22
by him.
incher.
Still
Yeah.
a nice fish though.
Yeah, he had his head down the current. Look at that wart.
Yep.
So,
Kind of ugly.
yeah.
Let's get that one back and catch a bigger one. Show open.